This episode of Unqualified is brought to you by McDonald's, proudly serving communities since 1965. On the drive to and from my parents' house in Washington State, we almost always stop at two particular McDonald's, one in Salem, Oregon, and another in Eureka, California. At the moment, we are in the parking lot of the Salem location, and I just finished a Big Mac and fries. Even though we are just passing through, I appreciate the familiarity and feeling of community. The other day, I was looking through my mother-in-law's photo album and came across a photo where she and her friends are standing in front of a McDonald's wearing their cheerleading uniforms. I usually call my mother-in-law New Mom, but her name is Marcia. Under the photo, Marcia had written a note, and I talked her into letting me read it here. San Bernardino, California. I have so many memories of this McDonald's over the years. My father took me there on what I think was opening day. What a thrill it was as a young girl to order a chocolate shake, hamburger, and French fries. Then there was the time when my cousin Hinda and I were given a tour and allowed to take dill pickles by the cupful out of a huge barrel. We must have eaten 100 pickles each. Everyone in my family knows the story of how I accidentally missed the ketchup container and dipped a fry into my milkshake. Now when I dip fries in my shake, it's on purpose. I remember when I was 12 years old, my mother and my cousin Noel Novak, Larry's brother, picked me up from dance class, and we went for dinner to celebrate Noel's graduation from high school. Years later, when I was in high school, we would go to McDonald's every Friday night after the football game. I wish you could see this photo. Marcia couldn't remember if they won the game that night, but everyone is smiling as if they did. Wherever your local McDonald's is, there's nothing better than that wonderful feeling of community. Well, maybe that feeling is tied with eating a Big Mac. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Eventize, like make an event out of it. You dig?
I guess I dig.
How many days a week are you doing this? First of all, thank you for doing this later, so I could bathe my children and put them.
Are you kidding? Thank you so much for being here.
Of course.
Dax Shepard is here, dear listeners.
Thanks for having me. I'm going to have a nice long pull off of this LaCroix.
Is it LaCroix or LaCroix?
The R is silent, apparently.
Nobody knows.
No one knows.
I do love.
Can we? Are we going to talk about on this podcast our vacation together?
Yes.
Do you remember our vacation
Hawaii.
together? Yeah, in Hawaii. That's right.
We did crosswords together.
Mm-hmm. And your then boyfriend wore Stars and Stripes Speedos that you had bought him. And I didn't really know him prior to that, and that made me like him pretty instantaneously.
Oh, I'm so
because
glad.
there was a fair amount of paparazzi on the beach. And so you occasionally get offered really weird things if you're on TV. And one of the things that was offered to Kristen was, would you like this free trip to Hawaii? You'll stay at the Four Seasons. They'll pay for the airfare. Your only obligation will be at a certain point you're going to have to eat chocolate. It was the most comical, like, here's the homework that needs to be done. You had to go down to this party, have a little bit of chocolate, and then you were good. You had paid for the whole trip. And then unbeknownst to us, you too had agreed to eat some chocolate, I believe. It was you, right? Probably wasn't Chris at that time.
I don't even know if we got the chocolate offer.
No, you had to.
No,
you had to go to this
we had to
party.
do something else, but we didn't get the chocolate.
Drink like a certain champagne or something.
I don't know.
So there we were in Hawaii. Well, great trip, by the way. They get a very nice room. They really rolled out the red carpet. And then we bumped into these two and found out they too were there, or I thought were there to eat chocolate. And it made us feel a little less weird about the whole thing.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah. And then...
Because nobody's ever told me that I make them feel less weird.
Oh, okay. Well, you definitely did.
Thanks.
We felt like we were on a double date vacation for a couple of the days. It was really nice.
Really fun.
Yeah. And Yeah, and again, there was a lot of paparazzi, and your boyfriend wore a Stars and Stripes Speedo in front of them and frolicked around and pranced, and it was very ballsy.
Yeah.
Pun intended. His balls were very visible.
You know what, Dax? You would love his balls.
Well, I would, I bet. Are they really...
they're magnificent.
They're big and musky.
Oh, they
I have to guess they're musky.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You're so right.
Yeah.
You know what?
I nailed it.
Musk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's got man's balls.
I do...
I'm somewhere in the middle. Not that you were curious, but I wouldn't say they're hyper masculine, nor are they feminine.
Wait a minute. So, what do you mean? Like on a scale of 1 to 10?
Well, let's say 1 to masculine. Like if 10 is like, let's say Sly Stallone's balls, or what I imagine them to be, and then
I just want like how low do they hang?
Well, that certainly depends on what temperature water. So on that trip where we were frequenting the hot tub. Painfully low, probably at times. Embarrassingly low.
Well, you know what? I was clocking them.
You had your eyes peeled, and
I was like, well, dear diary, Dax Shepard's balls are, I don't know, I can't quite tell. Are they low? Are they high? But there were times when I was like, well, maybe they're medium.
And I think typically they are. I have a funny story about my balls being inordinately low one time. Do you want to hear it? It's
yes,
pretty funny.
I would love to.
So
and then I'll tell you about my labia being low.
Oh, I can't wait. Menorah or Majora? Whatever. So I was doing an episode of that show, My Name is Earl, okay?
Yep.
And I was just a guest star, and that week, the actress on the show,
Jamie
Presley, was not working, so they gave me her trailer. Okay, this is before I was dating Kristen. So I had filmed one day, and it was a very, very hot day in the Valley. And then I was in her trailer getting out of my wardrobe and then getting into my street clothes. And then I was told, oh, hurry up. They've called in Jamie because they have to pick up a shot they missed with her. So in my mind, Jamie was going to walk in this trailer at any moment. So I was really meandering about getting my clothes back on. I was like, I'm just going to take my time. Maybe she'll walk in. This will be really exciting. And I was having this whole fantasy. And as this was happening, I just happened to glance at the full-length mirror, and I saw that my testicles had gone to their lowest point of my life. And I got immediately super self-conscious, and I raced to get my clothes on. The story's not over. I told Kristen that story, and she said, no one wants to walk in and see a guy naked. And I said, some women have to want to see that. And she's like, no, nobody wants to see that. So we've since polled all of her friends. She's mostly right. One of her 20 friends said they would have liked to have walked in and seen that. So this questionnaire has been going on for years. And then weren't we at a party about a year ago? Jamie Presley was there. And I said, oh, my God, you can finally solve this ongoing debate of whether or not you would have wanted to see me naked in your trailer. And she said, absolutely, I would not have wanted to see you naked. So it was a very definitive no, she wouldn't have liked that.
Wait, you totally skipped on, like, between, like, wanting to see a guy nude versus wanting to see how low balls can go.
I was quite certain no woman would want to see how low my balls were in that moment, which is why I really quickly got all my clothes back on. But I can tell you that 100% of men want to walk in their trailer and find a naked woman on accident.
Are you sure?
100%. Yeah, there's no question. There's not a guy that doesn't want to see that.
Wait a minute.
Tell me. You thought of one? Because I'm going to call bullshit on it right when you say the name. Okay.
He's right.
Stevie Wonder maybe doesn't give a fuck if there's a naked woman in his trailer. But I would bet even that, the idea of it would still excite him.
But, okay, fine. I hear what you're saying, but it would excite a man a lot more to be found naked than a woman to be found naked.
Oh,
right?
yeah, it goes both ways. Both a guy would want to be found naked and a guy would want to find someone naked. And then a woman would want no part of any finding someone naked or being found naked.
Right, right, yeah.
It's interesting, isn't it? I mean, truly, that there's that much difference in us in that respect.
Dax?
Yeah.
Do you mind? Let's pretend that you are on Tinder, okay? You're single.
Okay. This is the one you swipe and then you say, I like?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So you and I, wait, Sim, will you set it up?
Yes.
Which one are we doing here?
Kayla.
Tinder.
Ah, okay. So you have a reservation on the patio at Isabel, the West Hollywood restaurant, Isabel?
I don't. What kind of cuisine is it? Does it matter?
It doesn't really matter.
Okay, great.
Small plates, I believe. And
like tapas.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
And so I'm just going to bring you to your table, and you're going to meet Kayla for the first time. She's your Tinder date. So
okay, great.
Right this way, Mr. Shepard.
Oh, I'm sorry. What was your name again? I can't read. I just was going on your face. I forgot. What is your? How do you always pronounce it? Kayla.
Yeah.
God, you're so much shorter in real life than in your photos, which is a major bonus for me.
That's so weird because so many people tell me that all the time.
Oh, they do? What line of work are you in?
I'm an entrepreneur.
Oh, wow. That's so great.
Yeah, I do a lot of different things. I love to, I'm a photographer.
Oh, uh-huh.
And
what do you shoot on, an iPhone or?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And,
yeah, I thought maybe.
I have my own makeup line.
Oh, great.
And I'm a writer of screenplays and stuff like that.
Oh, I would love to not read one of those. I install irrigation, commercial irrigation for agribusiness. When you're driving on the 5 and you see those gigantic sprinkler systems and they kind of go in a circle, that's me. I'm not that gigantic sprinkler, but I do install those. If you do ever, because you are an entrepreneur, presumably you might need one at some point, and I would love to service your fields.
That's so weird, but you must make a lot of money because overall,
I do make a ton of money.
Yeah, that's so cool.
Yeah, and I don't have to report much of it.
But let me ask you this.
Okay.
Okay, number one.
10 inches. No.
If you
I'm so sorry.
were,
how embarrassing.
if you were to do like something in a creative profession, what would that be? And also, what's your sign?
I'm a Leo. That was probably obvious. And I think if I had to do a creative endeavor, I would instead of going with the stainless steel color on the irrigation systems, I would maybe go with a matte green. So they blended into the natural environment. So as you're driving up the 5, your eye isn't taken off the road by these huge sprinkler systems.
That's actually really cool.
You think that's a good idea?
Yeah, because that way, you're right, like everything really blends in. But do you know what kind of vibe I'm picking up from you?
What?
I feel like you have a lot of creative endeavor, but there's something that's like blocking. Like you've got this wall or bridge. Like you've got a level of defensiveness.
No, I don't.
That
no, I don't.
Feels like
I'm not the least offensive person. Excuse me, though. Excuse me. I'm the least offensive person I know. Okay. So let's just let that one lie for a second.
Okay.
Now you have 8 kids. You says you have 8 kids. What kind of ages are they?
I actually don't have any kids. That was a joke.
Oh my God, that's a great joke. What a great joke.
My friends put me up to that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I actually have never had any kids.
Oh, you haven't?
No.
How are things in there, reproductively speaking? Is everything tip-top, or do we have some endometriosis? Or
You're fine.
Thank you.
What is what did you say? What was that mean?
Endometriosis, your uterus has some kind of tissue inside that's kind of tightening down. I don't want to make you horny, but it does put some pressure on. You would know because you would have really strong menstrual cycles.
It's so cool that you're so in touch with like the female body.
Mm-hmm. I was raised by 3 women. Could you hold on? Okay. It'd make me feel more comfortable. And I think some of the other diners, if you wouldn't unbutton is that a blazer? Yeah.
Hi. Can I take your drink orders?
I brought mine, but yeah. What are you gonna have?
I would like to have a cherry bomb.
Cherry? What's sorry?
A cherry bomb.
Is that just like maraschino cherries and maybe tequila?
Yes.
Okay, no problem. And do you know what you want to eat?
I'll have the clams.
Oh, that sounds great. Do you have any fish on special? And I mean on sale?
Yes, we do. We
You
have a
do.
Branzino on sale.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
Okay, great. And that was-
Branzino.
They say to try to eat fish on Mondays or Tuesdays, and here we are on
Did
Thursday.
you ever study in Italy? Sorry.
Did I study? No.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Did you ever study in Italy? Because Branzino, that's like so Italian.
Yeah, I haven't. I'm going to throw something crazy out there.
Yeah.
Do you want to like continue this date in my car? Like, let's just go to my car right now.
Well, I've
got XM radio
I'm so
and-
looking forward to the clams, though, on my cherry bomb.
Okay, so you
But
would
maybe
have.
after that. But
How many clams are you going to put back?
oh god, it's however many like I can chomp with my teeth. I like to like really get
Wow.
my molars like you know crunching them.
You have to really pop them. So I'm presuming then you're not Jewish, because that's going to be a kind of a deal breaker for me.
Why?
Because I'm Orthodox.
What if I am Jewish?
That's great. That'll be great.
Okay.
Yeah. So you are.
Yeah,
Great. So you're not then going to eat the clams, or?
I guess this is a deal breaker, right? So I'm Jewish, and yet I want to break some rules.
I guess that's fine. I guess I could be. I just remembered I can't be on this date. I just remembered that. I had
Why?
forgot. I was like, what am I forgetting? I was parked my car and then I walked in here.
Oh my
I'm
God!
forgetting
What
something,
did I
forgetting something.
do?
No.
I
You
know,
didn't do
I did
anything.
Something.
No,
I
you
know I
didn't.
did. I
No.
always do. I always do. Come
No,
on, what
no,
did
no.
I do?
You didn't do
Just tell
anything.
me.
It has nothing to do with you, but constructive criticism. A clam order is a very aggressive order. It sends a lot of signals, and none of them are fantastic. But again, it has nothing to do with you. I have a prior court appearance I'm late for.
Ooh, for like rape,
Yeah.
robbery, rape,
I robbed someone
and then you raped him.
only to get their wallet. It was a guy, and
Ooh, guy rape.
yeah, it's
Tell
a
me
little
more.
less offensive, isn't it? Guy
Did
rape.
you use a condom?
Never. Raw dog all the way. You know.
I like it.
You like it? Okay, great. Well, anyways, this has been great. I'm going to definitely give you a really high rating on Tinder or whatever site we met on. I'm on so many, I can't remember if it was Bumble or Grindr. Did we meet on Grindr?
Oh, I feel so bummed. I feel like you didn't really like me very much.
I did not like you a ton. I did not like you a ton. Yeah. Yeah. But that's not to say that I don't like you,
But wait, let me ask you something.
Okay.
Okay,
One
so I
last
know
question.
that you're a big star in Hollywood, but do you think that I could make it in Hollywood?
I do not think that, no. Do you want to fuck anyways?
Yes.
Okay, well, again, let's just get out to my car. I'll pop on XM radio. I've got Yacht Rock radio ready to go. We'll listen to some logins and we'll get sweaty.
Okay.
Okay, this is great. I'm just going to tell this
Okay.
guy to cancel the clams. I forget what his name
Hi,
was.
I
Well,
have your clams here.
yeah, once you bend over, I'll show you. Okay. We're going on to the car.
But I still want my cherry.
There you go.
cherry. Thank you.
In a to-go cup.
This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by ZocDoc. Who gets excited about trying a new restaurant that has 2 out of 5 stars? When it comes to finding healthcare, don't ratings matter even more? ZocDoc is a free app where you can compare doctors, read reviews from real patients, and even make same-day appointments. When I finally called to reschedule my dentist appointment, I was told that my dentist had been retired for nearly 3 years. In my defense, parking was a nightmare. Through ZocDoc, I found a new dentist who had great reviews, took my insurance, and whose office was actually within walking distance. I was also able to book an appointment instantly without talking to a receptionist who made me feel guilty about not having my teeth cleaned for 3 years. My new dentist didn't make me feel guilty either, and only suggested I floss a little more often. Whether you need a primary care physician, dentist, dermatologist, psychiatrist, eye doctor, or other specialist, ZocDoc makes healthcare easy. Now is the time to prioritize your health. Go to ZocDoc.com/unqualified and download the ZocDoc app. Sign up for free and book a top-rated doctor who might be available as soon as today. That's ZocDoc.com/unqualified. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Warby Parker. Warby Parker was founded with a rebellious spirit and the lofty goal of creating boutique quality eyewear at a revolutionary price point. Sunglasses, with or without a prescription, start at $95 and, just like eyeglasses, are available through their home try-on program. You just choose 5 pairs and see which ones you like. I was surprised by how quickly they arrived, which presented me with the immediate problem of deciding which ones to keep. I loved all of them, so you can guess what happened. And not only can you feel good about how cool you look, you can also feel good knowing that for every pair of glasses sold, Warby Parker distributes a pair of glasses to someone in need through partnerships with nonprofits like Vision Spring. Offering eyeglasses, sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams, Warby Parker is committed to providing exceptional vision care online and in stores. So put your FSA or HSA dollars to good use on Warby Parker prescription glasses, prescription sunglasses, contact lenses, and eye exams. Try Warby Parker's free home try-on program. Order 5 pairs of glasses to try at home for free for 5 days. There's no obligation to buy. Ships free and includes a prepaid return shipping label. Try 5 pairs of glasses at home for free at warbyparker.com/unqualified. That's warbyparker.com/unqualified.
We're going to have to break format a little bit right now and get to a call.
Oh, okay.
I know we just had some fun.
Am I allowed to talk, or do you?
Oh,
Yes.
no. You are
Okay.
the one who's supposed to talk.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll get back to the
Sorry,
rest.
Tim.
Yeah, no, it's
What am I
okay.
supposed to do here?
All right, we're going to call Megan.
Dax,
Oh,
thank
you were
so
going
much
to
for-
place the call.
Oh, we're placing the call.
This
Yes.
is the most bizarre experience
I know.
of my life, and
I'm
I've
so
been
sorry.
This is. We're going to call
I
Megan
can't
right now.
thank
She's
you
in
enough
New
for being
Jersey,
here.
and she's 41.
Oh, great! It's quite late
It's
in New
late.
Jersey.
It's
It's
late.
11:30.
I know.
You're
I
probably
know.
going to wake up her whole family. She's going to be in a great mood.
She
when
has a
she
family.
answers.
Yes, she wants to talk about her family.
Oh,
actually.
great.
I really though. Thank you so much.
Hello.
Hey, Megan.
Yes.
Hey, I know it's late. I'm so sorry we're calling you so late. But Anna and Dax Shepard are here.
Hi, Megan.
Hi. How are you?
Are you asleep, Megan?
I know. I'm so sorry.
I took a nap.
I know. I'm so sorry we're so late, but we'll get right to it. So, Meg,
Will you leave your husband for me? Just get right to it.
well, she has twins, and obviously raising twins is incredibly stressful and exhausting. But Megan, tell us why you emailed us.
Pretty much, I guess we're just trying to sort out what I'm trying to sort out. If this first year, so our twins are 8 months old, and they're amazing, and I, definitely don't want it to seem at all like we aren't just madly in love with them and so grateful to have them. Like we're so lucky, but it is hard. It's hard, I guess, trying to figure out how to find balance. Like it feels like our life has really 100% just become all about them. We put all of our time and our energy into them, and everything revolves around their schedule. And I guess we're just kind of like our marriage and our relationship and just anything for just the two of us has really kind of been put on the back burner. And I guess I'm just trying to sort out, like, okay, is this just how it is? Like the first couple of years, like this is what it is. We put everything on them and then come back to us later, or should we be actively trying to balance things out a little bit better?
I have a strong opinion about this. I don't know if you want to hear Anna's first, but I have a very strong opinion about
Dax,
this.
you go.
When you're on the airplane and they're giving you the safety demonstration and they tell you that you have to put your oxygen mask on before you can help your kids?
Yeah.
It is my opinion that you can't be a good parent if you're not actively creating a good relationship to raise them with. So I really believe it's so easy I have 2 kids as well. I don't have twins. I feel very bad for you. But I have 2 babies. And when we had one, it was fine because you have a nap for 2 hours. That's great. Then you can go watch Netflix. And then you put them to bed at 7:30, and then you have 2 more hours. So really you have 4 hours a day. And then you have a second kid, and then you realize, oh my God, we don't even have 5 seconds a day together. And I think it's incredibly easy for that to become the pattern you immediately get stuck in because the house is on fire, basically. They need so much attention. They need it so quickly. But I will say we read this great book when my wife was pregnant called Brain Rules for Babies, but that I didn't enjoy any of the stuff about the babies. I liked the part that talked about relationships, and it said, I think it's a common wives' tale that somehow having kids is going to make your relationship better. And it said, in fact, 70% of the time, it makes relationships worse. It makes marriages worse. So I think first and foremost, you have to immediately go, okay, this is going to be really stressful. This is like remodeling a house or moving. This is one of the tests of relationship. And so you have to be just really conscious, I think, of carving out the time, getting the babysitter, going away for a night, doing all these things that feel like you're putting the kids second, but I think ultimately you're actually putting them first because you're going to be in a loving relationship in front of them, which is what they will then, pick their future relationships based on. Can I ask you a question about your husband?
Sure.
How much of the baby work does he do?
Well, he's actually a stay-at-home dad, so he does a lot. So, he left his job to stay home with them. So I think that's part of it, too. Like, I end up just feeling like, I guess, a ton of guilt because I'm the one that's not with them all the time. And then it's hard, like, on the weekends, I have 2 days where I can just be with them. So I end up feeling so guilty if my husband and I want to go to a movie or something like that. Like, we haven't really done a lot of just leaving them with someone and going out just ourselves.
I feel super bad for women way more than men because my wife, who works a lot, she's either at work feeling guilty that she's not at home with her kids, or she's at home with her kids not taking work and then feeling guilty that she's not being a productive woman. So that's bullshit that women are bridled with that, and I think it's your responsibility to go, fuck that, I'm not going to feel guilty. Someone's going to have to pay for this house and to keep the lights on and food on the table, and that's the role you're in. So you really have no reason to feel guilty, and you need to work on actively telling yourself in the mirror you're doing the right thing.
I love that advice, Dax, but it is so hard to take. I mean, I think that as women, you're constantly wrapped up in whether you're a stay-at-home mom or you are the breadwinner or you're working or whatever you're doing, there is a constant feeling of guilt.
It's crazy.
I know, and I think that we just have to sort of reconcile with ourselves with the idea that this is what it is to be a woman and a mom. And
in 2016.
Yeah, and it fucking sucks. But here are the things that I want to tell you. And actually, a lot of this comes from one of Sim's dear friends whose wife emailed us after Sim.
I told Megan about her earlier today when I spoke to her.
And she wrote this great email, and I'll forward all of this on to you. But the things that I wanted to tell you that I thought were like kind of the most important, the idea of boundaries and like people in your life that are making you feel a lot of burden right now. They just don't have any place in your life right now.
Mm-hmm.
And do you know what I mean? I don't know if your wife feels
like the guy she's having an affair with. Or... I'm just kidding, Megan. I assume you're not having an affair.
But you know what I mean? Like
the
people in your life that are like, why aren't you calling me back? Are you mad at me?
Well, that's one thing I like about having kids is it makes it easier to have the exact size life I want. So my life is I work and I'm with my kids. Even the show. You said you want to do my show? I said, yeah, after I put my kids down. It's a non-starter. I'm not going to do anything when my kids are awake if I'm not at work. That's that. And I have zero guilt about that because I've decided those are good. I have a good motivation for that. I feel good about my motivation. Well, I just want to add, I don't know, Megan, how you feel at work, but I often go to work and I feel this amazing sense of relief, like, oh, it's so nice to not hear them fighting or screaming right now. And I don't think you should feel bad about that either. I don't know if you ever have that sense of relief, like you get in the car to go to work and it's a fucking nice ride to work because you're not hearing the screaming and everything. I think that's human.
Yeah.
Well, and it
Yeah,
might be
yeah,
wonderful.
that is part of where the guilt comes into. Like, I've gone on business trips then where it's like,
Oh my
I'm
God!
gonna
And you
get
feel
sleep through the
totally like a
night.
relief, like you're at work
I'm like,
and
I'm a horrible person because I'm enduring being away for a couple of days.
no, don't.
Yeah, you didn't you didn't forfeit being a human being because you're raising two other human beings. My fantasy used to be like a three-way with Scarlett Johansson and someone else, and now
Wait a
it's
minute,
now
what?
it's an
I thought it was
8-hour
gonna be
trip.
me.
Yeah, you're the someone else, but I didn't want to make you uncomfortable. My fantasy now, my ultimate sexy fantasy is flying to New York in first class with a lay flat bed and doing nothing for 6 hours. I mean, that's
Wait,
me.
what about Dubai?
I'll fucking fly around the world if it's in that lay flat situation and there's movies. That sounds like Ibiza to me.
But you know what? It's hard. It's so hard for a woman to not feel incredibly guilty about just every single thing, like whether you're working, just like.
But I will say this, and you said you used the expression "people who make you feel," and I would just say, Megan, people can't make you feel anyway. No one, if they could, someone could make you feel happy, or someone could make you feel euphoric. They can't do that. You have to give permission to people to make them have you feel a certain way.
How the fuck did we get somebody more qualified on
He's
our...
doing great. Let's let him go.
This is
Guys, I'm
fucking
firing you.
bullshit.
This is now my show.
No.
Megan, I'm going to get on the next.
Sorry, you're healthier than we are.
I'm going to get on the next flight to New Jersey, Megan, and I'm going to enjoy the hell out of that.
Can we
flight
talk to her
see
before
you.
we get off the phone? Can we talk to her about keeping her her relationship alive? Whether it's through intimacy. How important is intimacy at this point?
You have to have sex with your husband. I'm just telling you right now. You have to have sex with your husband. A guy's entire self-esteem. So your self-esteem, as we acknowledge, is really wrapped up in a mother's responsibility, and that's very challenging. And a guy's stupidly is, if my wife doesn't have sex with me once a week, she doesn't like me, she's repulsed by me, and we're very fragile that way. Yes, you need to fuck your husband once a week.
Wait. But shouldn't it be sort of like after you've had a kid, you feel really vulnerable?
Tough shit. Do you think I want to hear about my wife's ideas of remodeling? No, but I say to myself, I love this woman, and I want to be with her, so I'll
my husband
do
to
it.
come on to me.
That's great, but you have to be open to that once a week.
Oh, for sure. But what
But I
if...
think a lot of women don't feel attractive after they have a kid.
Right,
or all
so
these
then the
different
husband
reasons.
may not feel like,
But let me tell you
what if
about
he
your
gets
husband.
rejected?
Your husband's been fucking his hand since he was 12 years old, and his hand is not sexy, and he's still doing it. So a guy does not care about attraction at all. He's not even thinking whether you're attractive or not. He just needs that once a week.
So what you're saying is...
You gotta fuck. I'm sorry.
No,
it's a bummer.
No,
you're already
listen,
tired, and
I
you're not in the
wanna-
mood, but you gotta do it.
We all want to fuck, but
Well, do
it
ya?
should be. Don't you think that it should be like a man coming to his wife and being like, "Baby,
That's fine, but I think a
love
lot
your
of-
tits. I love your pussy. Like I love. Like,
Yeah, those are
I wanna,
nice
like-
items on a woman. But I think that those are quite often met with either a lackluster response, or I'm tired, or honey, can we tomorrow? Blah blah blah. All these different things, which is natural.
Right,
By the way,
right.
I don't blame anyone for feeling that way, but that's just something you got to get. I think if you add that. I have no idea what your frequency is. My guess is it's not high with twins and 8 months ago. But I would just say that what it'll do to your husband's self-esteem and his resentments towards you, I guarantee they vanish.
Wait, what about if we suggested? All right, the two of you are watching the new HBO show Westworld, right? Mm-hmm. On the couch. The twins are asleep. Finally, you got them to bed. You're on the couch. You put your hand over, you like intertwine your fingers, and then you slowly sort of move it over to his carotchal area.
His carotchal zone.
You guys are still watching the show, and then you start kind of canoodling his neck. What do you think about this?
I'm in, but it would take even less for me. But I'm in, Megan. If you did just those things to me,
You're
I
an
would
easy lay.
be ready to go. But I do think I don't know about you guys, but when I'm in a relationship, it's really easy to be waiting constantly for the other person to go first. So you have needs, Megan. I'm sure your husband is not naturally meeting, or it's not instinctual for him to think of the things that are driving you nuts. Likewise, you're doing things that aren't instinctual for you that are driving him nuts. And it can easily become a standoff in a relationship. And I think just you constantly have to take the high road and go like, fuck it, I'm mad at him, or I'm resentful about this, but I'm still going to do my side of the street. I'm going to keep my side of the street clean. And then quite often, by cleaning up your side, then the other person starts behaving better to you. Someone's got to go first. Megan, are you guys having sex 6 nights a week? And this was 20 minutes of wasted time just now.
You know what I always like?
Yeah.
Is when people start like cite statistics by saying like they said, or like there's been a study.
Sure. My grandpa told me you just say you read it in the New York Times and they'll believe whatever comes next.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say. So anything else before we wrap this up with her?
Can I just say I'm embarrassed that I talked way more than I let you, Megan. Was there more stuff you wanted to, anything else you wanted to say specifically about your
No, I
scenario?
thought it was actually really helpful. Honestly, it's funny because a lot of what you're saying is, like I've said to my husband, sometimes it feels like we're just best friends that are raising these kids together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is what it is. I think we're just focused so much on them that we're letting just kind of taking care of our relationship kind of be pushed to the side. And I think we have to actively try to stop doing that.
And, you know, truly how everyone says that it will get easier as the kids get older, it really will. You're in a particularly intense time right now with your kids being so young, and either your brain gets really numb and stupid like mine, or things get significantly easier as your kids get older.
What I always say is feelings are temporary. They don't last forever. I've never, ever been on a roller coaster having an amazing time going, oh, no, I hope a great feeling doesn't last forever. And likewise, just like a great feeling doesn't last forever, or a great period, or a great time, or a great connection, nor does the shitty time or the bad experience or the rough patch. It's just temporary.
Yeah. And, but I don't know. I the first year of my son being born, yeah, it was so hard, and continued into his second year. And I felt angry that, you know, my sweet husband, who is an unbelievable father and is such a great husband, but I felt mad that he didn't have the same burden that I felt, that I put on myself to some degree. But you are not alone at all. I felt like annoyed with him that I was figuring out the schedule and sort of, you know, and like oh God, my nipples or whatever, like the whole shit.
How are your nipples, Megan?
Yeah.
Are they in good shape? I'm just teasing.
They're doing all right.
Okay, good.
But you're not alone. And I think that I love it that you asked us this question, because I think it should be an open dialogue. And you know what? Sim, Dax,
Yeah.
fuck you both.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Okay?
Sounds good.
No. Take it.
Okay. Yep.
No, say you're sorry.
For?
Being a man.
I apologize for my chromosomal situation.
Sim,
Yeah, I'm sorry. We do have to end the call, though.
well, we love you.
Megan, thank you so much.
Will you please? And
Thank you, guys.
Sim's
And I'm going to send you that email from my friend.
It's really
yeah,
good.
you're going to love it. It's going to be very helpful.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Good night,
Thank
Megan.
you.
Night.
Bye. Thanks, guys.
This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by State Farm. And in honor of their surprisingly great auto insurance rates, I'm going to tell you about a particularly surprising day on set. It takes me a long time to read a script. For almost every line of dialogue, I will stop to figure out why my character would say it, how it fits in the conversation, and how it's going to come out of my mouth. Between the lines, there are larger chunks of text which describe everything else happening in the scene. Maybe what a room looks like, what characters are wearing, and what they're doing. As I often underestimate how long everything in my life takes, I know I can make up some time by reading those larger chunks a little faster. I got the script for Overboard about 6 months before we started production. I read it in my warm living room, wearing comfortably warm clothes, sipping from a warm mug of tea. Somehow, it never occurred to me that when you jump off a boat in the middle of the ocean, the water is surprisingly cold. And it doesn't get any warmer on take 2. Here at Unqualified, we love State Farm because they provide coverage that meets your needs at a surprisingly great rate. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today. This episode of Unqualified is brought to you in part by Osea. Wondering what to gift your friends and family this holiday season? Female founded over 25 years ago by a mother and daughter team, Osea's award-winning cleansers, serums, face moisturizers, and body products give you the results you want. Skin that looks and feels amazing. I recently got to try Osea's new body butter, which, like their now famous Undaria algae body oil, transforms dry skin without being greasy, has the same incredible scent, and leaves your skin soft, smooth, and healthy looking. If my experience is any indication, you can count on your partner giving you a lot of compliments. This holiday season, stock up and share your new favorite clean skincare and body care with your friends and family. Unqualified listeners get 10% off your first order with promo code ANNA at OseaMalibu.com. You'll get free samples with every order, and orders over $50 get free shipping. Gifting is always easier if you start early, so head to OSEAMalibu.com. Use code ANNA. Your wife, you have 2 kids.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. A
Are you about to
3-year-old and a
suffocate
2-year-old.
yourself, by the way, that was it.
Yeah, I thought it'd be cool to kill myself here on your show. Has anyone ever killed themselves on
That'd be
your show?
awesome.
I've got a few different ways I could do it. I could
Really?
maybe let you pick it out of a hat. But one would be pinching my nose, as you just watched me do, and then slowly running out of air.
I like to.
What training did you have?
What do you mean?
Well, you're very funny. Did you do?
Thank you.
Did you do any comedic training?
No, I
No,
was
you're just funny.
really. Thanks. Really?
You're crazy funny.
That's.
I sat
really
with you
nice
at a
of say.
premiere one time, long ago.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was
I
that?
sat next to you.
That was
I wanna say
down
it
in
was you.
Hollywood.
Mm-hmm. It was at the Man's
I was
Chinese.
totally charmed by you.
Oh, you were?
Yes.
That's interesting because I was definitely putting it out there, and I left and I was like, that girl just really could have given a shit. But you actually remember, so this is good.
I totally.
I'll feel it's
Yeah. No. You
1%
you
better
were
about
really,
myself.
You were really fucking hysterical. You.
But I
always
think
have
you're
been.
unbelievably funny. I mean, truly. You're like Burt.
Now I'm blushing.
Yeah.
I'm like Burt Reynolds funny. Is that what you're about to say?
No, you're funnier than Burt Reynolds, but yeah, you were in a bunch of movies that you were unbelievable in the movies.
Really?
Yeah, even
Oh, I
sometimes
really
in
am
spite
kind
of the movies,
I'm
you know?
so blushing.
Yeah. I wish I
you.
could remember exactly which one it was.
Well, maybe Scary Movie 1, 2, 3, or 4.
was after
House
that?
Bunny.
Just Friends.
Just Friends. Yeah. Unbelievable. Crazy funny.
Go on.
Who directed that?
Roger Cumble.
Oh, right. Uh-huh. Yes. I've had breakfasts with that guy. Never worked with him.
He's
But
lovely, though. But wait, that means a lot to me. I totally remember that night, though.
you do?
Yes.
Oh, that's shocking. to me.
Yeah.
This
No.
is-
Listen. I've been a huge fan of yours forever.
Okay. Well, I think I'm a slightly bigger fan of yours, but that we won't have to.
But okay, wait. Can we talk about your rise?
My what?
Your rise in Hollywood.
Okay. Sure.
So, like, becoming an actor,
I
going from, punked and like, and you know who I was talking to? I was talking to Jamie Presley, and she was saying how she knew that you were.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You're talking to Jamie Presley.
Yeah.
Well,
Who I was
Jamie's
just-
on our show.
She's
Who
on
I
the
was just
show.
talking about being
Yeah.
naked with.
But she was saying how you have that thing, that movie star quality.
Really?
Yes.
Well,
'cause
that's
you do.
very, very
'Cause
flattering.
you're really fucking smart. You're really fucking funny.
Thank you.
And you're really fucking handsome.
Well, I'm going to bail out there, but that's
Watch
very nice to
me put on
hear.
chapstick.
Watch me put the fuck out of this chapstick.
It's childlike chapstick.
But yeah, are you asking like how did I end up in your dining room?
Well,
this is your dining room, right? Or is that
or in comedy? I know it's a weird place.
I moved to LA in '96, and I auditioned for the Groundlings. And the Groundlings is sketch and improv theater here in LA. I'm sure you know that. And at that time, the people that had just come out of there were Will Ferrell and Chris Kattan and Maya Rudolph. Those people had all just gone to Saturday Night Live, and all I wanted was to be on Saturday Night Live. And so I thought, oh, this is how you do it.
That was your...
Oh, that was the end to end. I didn't even like have any fantasies of being in movies or on a TV show. I just thought I wanted...
You moved from Detroit to LA.
Yes, ma'am.
1996.
I moved to Santa Barbara in 95. For what reason, I'm still not positive. But ostensibly to act. There's not a lot of roles being cast in Santa Barbara. So then in 96...
I love like the geriatric, like...
Yes, exactly. So then I came down here in 96, and then I auditioned to get in the Groundlings, which was the very first time I had ever acted, was my audition for getting in there. And then it takes years to go through there. So I was both going through the Groundlings and going to UCLA. And at the end of all that, I had been auditioning for, I don't know, 6 to maybe 8 years for like tampon commercials and Doritos commercials and never getting any of them.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I auditioned for a lot of tampon commercials. Obviously not to be the user of a tampon, but like whatever the obligatory guy in the commercial was.
I had no idea there was an ability. What does that guy do?
He like smiles approvingly of his female for using the feminine care product, I guess.
So am I like riding on a bicycle and I'm like...
Yeah, and I'm behind you out of focus, soft focus. But somehow an audition is required to be in soft focus in the background as you whimsically ride your bike with their...
Wait, but no, come on. What am I really doing?
In the commercial, literally canoeing and shit, riding a bike. They really want you to be outdoorsy when you're on your period. That seems to be the message I'm getting from the ads.
Okay, so we're in a canoe. I'm in the front.
I'm in the deep background paddling, out of focus.
I get my period, and
it's always voiceover, right? It's like, Tampax has 14 times the absorption rate and a disposable applicator that won't hurt the environment. And the whole time, you're fucking paddling your heart out, smiling, and then I'm in the deep BG, blurry, but I auditioned for that role. And I felt like I may have just sucked. As it turns out, I might have just sucked at auditioning. But in my mind, I've told myself I wasn't really handsome enough to be the good-looking dude in the commercial out of focus, and I wasn't ugly enough to be the character-y dude in the commercial. So I kind of
totally disagree.
I was in the gray area.
You were smoking hot.
I love you. I just don't buy that, and nor did the casting directors. I rest my case. But at any rate, so many, many years of auditioning for these commercials, not getting any of them. And then they called in virtually every single person in the city that did improv to audition for Punk'd. And then I went on upwards of 12 auditions for that show. I was auditioning for that show for like 3 months.
Shit.
To the point where at one point, or so Ashton claims, this may or may not be true, I had gone through all these auditions, and then I was like not on their selects list that made it to Ashton. And then Ashton started watching videotapes, and he said, well, wait, what about this guy? And I don't know what they thought. I was 2 something. But then I came in for another like round of 3, and then I would improv with other people they were going to cast, blah, blah, blah. Then I did the pilot. Then the pilot got sued. Then I had to wait a whole year for that lawsuit to get sorted out before we actually went into series. At this point, I've now been in LA for almost 10 years trying to make it.
How are you making money during this point?
It's so complicated, but in a nutshell, I drove cars back and forth from Detroit to LA for General Motors on the weekends. I'd go round trip. I'd leave Thursday after class.
Oh, my God.
At like 1 in the afternoon. Then I would drive all the way there. I'd get there Friday night, and then I would get annihilated drunk with my friends, and then I'd get in the car super hungover on Saturday, and I would drive back, and then I'd go to class on Monday. And I did that for years. I've done that drive an insane amount of times.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. But then I got on that show. So it was a really, really, really long time before I got hired as an actor. But once I got hired as an actor, I was on Punk'd. It aired in, I think, like springtime. And then immediately after it airing, it was a really popular show. I got cast in Without a Paddle as like one of the 3 leads, which just never happens coming off of a reality show.
Oh, I knew who was saying. Christine Moore.
Oh, she was in Without a Paddle.
Yes, and she was saying to me, she just starred on Mom with us, and she was saying that I said, I was bragging about like my podcast and you coming on, and she was saying that when she was doing Without a Paddle, that she just knew that you were a huge star. And,
really?
Yeah.
That's really nice to hear.
Well,
she was incredibly nice, and she was super great in the movie. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I had never been in anything other than Punk'd, and then I was there with lots of lines and lots of scenes and lots of blocking.
She was just saying he has that thing. Dax has that thing, and so that X Factor, whatever.
I'm gonna float off to sleep tonight when I get home. I'm gonna sleep with a smile on my face.
Good.
Like it's gonna look like this. It's kind of crooked, but it'll be there.
So that was a pretty big hit. Without a Paddle,
yeah.
It was, yeah. I would dare say that's about the only hit movie I've been in.
So after that, so there were more opportunities to do comedy. Is that kind of where you were heading? Because you ended up doing drama for years.
Well, so what happened was while I was right before I went to do Without a Paddle, I did a couple episodes of King of the Hill. And I got to be friendly with Mike Judge, and Mike Judge auditioned me, or let me audition. He didn't want to hire me to be in Idiocracy because it was supposed to be a really big fat guy.
I love that movie.
So when I got home from Without a Paddle, I auditioned for Idiocracy. I got Idiocracy, and Jon Favreau, who, mind you, neither of these 2 movies have come out. One's not even been made. Jon Favreau just loves Mike Judge and thought, well, if he casts this dude, I trust this. So then he hired me for this other movie, Zathura, which was this big Sony movie. So it was quite a big movie, and Favreau was a very big director, and Tim Robbins was in it and all this stuff. This is all happening within 1 year of Punk airing, and none of these movies have come out. And go back to back to back, like 3 movies in a row with really great roles. And I was also, because Groundlings is so writer heavy, you have to write so much. And I had always been a writer long before I was trying to be an actor. I was also starting to sell screenplays at that time, and I was starting to work more and more as a writer, and probably have worked as much as a writer as I have as an actor. And that's what I do now mostly.
Do you feel more comfortable writing?
I hate writing, but I do it. I shouldn't say that. I enjoy when I'm actually writing. Making the space for it's nearly impossible. So in fact, this Wednesday, I'll go away for 4 days to a hotel because I have a whole screenplay due. And so I can't write any other way. When there's kids around, it's a big
find
pain
out
in the
what
ass.
hotel.
I'm going to find out what hotel.
Yeah.
Right.
You're going to send me something?
I'll be there.
Okay, good. Eating chocolate.
Eggs Benedict. Hey,
So
just want to know how it's going.
Any funny scenes you've written? So I hate that. Of the 3 things that I get to do now, that's by far the worst and most labor intensive. But that's what brought me to the party.
Like the most rewarding.
It is the most rewarding. I got to say, like after I finish a movie, whatever sense of accomplishment I have as an actor, it's pretty minimal compared to when I finish a script and I think it's good. I'll never call my mom and say I just finished this movie, but I will call my mom and go like, "Oh, I just finished this script and it's good."
Is that where you're headed now? Do you want to head towards writing and directing?
I just wrote and directed Chips at Warner Brothers, and now they just hired me, and now I'm writing and directing Scooby-Doo, the animated movie at Warner Brothers.
It's incredible.
That's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It's very exciting.
Dax,
Amazing.
I feel like I've known you for a while. I want to get to know you more, and I'm so grateful that you're here tonight, and also I'm so. I feel like we sort of came to the town in a similar time period, and and I don't know. It
is weird, right? I mean, not to be mean, but we're getting old in this business, and to think that let's just say I'll keep it personal. I'm getting old in this business. Like, there's people that were visiting set as like assistants that are now running the studios.
Yes.
In that short period that we've been working, people that were writers assistants are now showrunners. Like, that's all happened in our time
isn't
here.
That kind of like the beauty. It's discouraging on one hand, but it's also the beauty of the industry is that like
everyone has a shot.
It is a meritocracy. It's one of the only meritocracies around. If you're fucking great, you will get hired. Like,
now you're
that's the
using
bottom
one
line.
of those words that I don't know again.
I'm sorry. Merit based. You get promoted for merit.
Now, can we go? Where are we going?
Do you want to? Let's go to.
Oh, Karen Sarducci.
I'm getting self-conscious. Do you think I'm coming across as a know-it-all?
Oh no, Dax, not at all.
Okay. So I can attempt to throttle back.
No, are you kidding? You're fucking charming and hot and handsome.
Oh my
and,
God.
Like, how do you feel about some deal breakers?